Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about the match between Granada and FC Barcelona, and I'm going to be talking about 4 key points because when we do talk about this match, there's just so much we do need to talk about, and I want to go into further detail regarding some players that did start in the starting 11 and the substitutions that did come in later in this game. And one of the players that I do want to talk about is Antoine Griezmann. This is a player that we did talk about in the previous video, but I do want to go into further detail regarding this player. So here's the thing. Antoine Griezmann scored 2 goals and two assists against Granada, and I'm going to be very honest, this is probably his best game he has played in a Barcelona shirt. There could be other games like in that match between Barcelona and Real Betis under Valverde and many other games, but I do think that one of his best games, but I do believe is his best game, was in this game between Barcelona and Granada. And if you are one of those people that started watching football in 2021 and you happen to see FC Barcelona play within their Copa del Rey matches, play within the Champions League matches or La Liga matches, you would think that Antoine Griezmann is the best player in the world. You would think that Antoine Griezmann is the star man for FC Barcelona. And in this match between Barcelona and Granada, Antoine Griezmann is one of the main reasons why Barcelona did win. Now, was he that player that created for all the other players? Was he the player that was controlling the tempo and doing absolutely everything in this game? No, he was not doing that. What he was doing was he was given the opportunity to finish certain tasks or opportunities, and he did bag those goals in. Something that we have not seen with Antoine Griezmann in the first 12 months. He was really struggling. But again, in this game, he was given the responsibility to do certain things, and he did complete that. And looking at the map here, looking at the amount of goals and the assists he has done in 2021, notice the location where all of these goals and assists do come from. These locations are absolutely unreal. And to be very honest, if you were to just look at this map here and not know that this was Antoine Griezmann's goal and assist map in 2021, this actually does look like Luis Suarez's goal and assist map with FC Barcelona from the season of the 2015-2016 season. And it is just so impressive. It's so impressive to see Griezmann put these numbers, and especially in this way in 2021. I do believe that statistically, so far within the past 9 matches, Griezmann is putting the exact same numbers Luis Suarez was bringing in the second season with FC Barcelona. And that is really telling you a lot, because I would have never thought that Griezmann were to reach this point. I would have never thought that we were ever going to see Griezmann bring in 2 assists and then 2 goals and then 1 assist and then 3 goals, and then the next 2 games he brings in 2 goals and 2 assists. It is way too consistent for a player who was not supposed to ever fit in FC Barcelona in the first place, according to many people out there in the media and the people working for the media outlets. And so this is the turning point of Antoine Griezmann. This is where we are probably starting to see the beginning of Griezmann making his mark under this team. And one of the greatest things that really fascinates me about Griezmann's game under Ronald Koeman specifically is that we constantly do see Griezmann let the ball go through him on the field. Like, there has been many times where we have seen De Jong or Jordi Alba pass a ball, and then it seemed like Antoine Griezmann was going to receive the ball, but he lets the ball go through his legs and then goes to a player like Lionel Messi or Serginho Dest. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Griezmann likes to do that fake illusion towards the opposition that he's going to get the ball, but he actually doesn't. And let me tell you guys why this is so fascinating and why this is a good thing. There were many occasions in the first 12 months of Griezmann's career with Barcelona where Griezmann always seemed like he was in the way of certain plays. He always did seem like he was ruining what Barcelona were trying to build. There were many times where Griezmann gained possession where he was not supposed to regain the possession and he wasn't supposed to touch the ball in the first place, and then the play completely deteriorates. But now what we are seeing here is that we are starting to see the exact same plays, but this time we do see Griezmann let the ball go through him and continue the play where it is actually supposed to go. And I do think that because of that, it does 2 things. It gives the illusion towards the opposition, whether it's Valencia, Getafe, whoever, right? Athletic Club. It makes them think that the ball is going to go to Antoine Griezmann, but it actually doesn't, and it completely imbalances their defensive line, and then they have to readjust. And then number 2, it keeps the play moving to what it's supposed to actually look like, because as the play continues to go, as Barcelona continue to move forward, they go higher up the pitch, and then as they go higher up the pitch, whether it's Messi, Serginho Dest receives the ball from Jordi Alba or Frenkie de Jong, that is when Griezmann does come in. That is where Griezmann puts himself in the position to actually get the ball, and then that is why we do see Griezmann score these goals and bring the assist inside the box, because he he knows exactly when to be into play and when not to be into play. And I do think that because of that, it is really showing that Griezmann understands his role. He knows what he's doing. He's finally starting to show that I understand what Barcelona wants to do and what they want from me, and I know the exact way on how I can contribute to this team. And then moving on to the next key point, and that is going to be about Lionel Messi. Now, the only reason why I did not talk about Messi in the previous match is because I do think that other players deserved praise. We have talked about Messi enough. I have talked about Messi enough. I know what he did in this game, but other players needed some focus and some appraisal from the audience. But in this video, we're going to be talking about Messi. I do think that Messi was greatly involved in this match against Granada, and even though he did not mark any goals and only provided one assist against this team, we have seen so many times where Messi did not provide no goals and no assist and still came out with a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 performance. We have seen that so many times, and this game was no different. Messi looked very, very alive in this game against Granada, and I do believe that the only reason why Messi is looking so much more involved and looking like he de-aged about 2 or 3 years younger, it is because Messi wants to win with this team. This is no longer the team that we did see 12 to 15 months ago. Messi knows that this is a team that's on the verge of being one of the most dominant teams in the world, and Messi wants to be a part of that. And I did say something here on Twitter a couple of hours ago when I quote, Messi's pre-assist to Griezmann, then to Jordi Alba, was not the first time a play like this did occur in this season. Messi's pre-assist to De Jong, then Pedri was the first one. Talk about perfecting your craft. There has been a lot of hard work, repetitive work coming from the training ground. And that is the point that I'm trying to make, and that is that there has been so many consistencies with the way Messi has been playing on the field. There has been so many times where we have seen Messi try to execute a certain play with certain players, and that is telling us that Messi trusts these players. He trusts these players to the point where he knows that these players can be the backbone towards what he wants to do in that final third area. And that's very important, because if we were to see a very great player, right? Let's just talk in general. If we were to see a very great player like Neymar, Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Hazard, whoever, if we constantly saw those players on the field trying to do everything, trying to take down these players and scoring the goals on their own, that is a very bad thing, because that is telling us that this player doesn't trust his teammates. This player doesn't want the other players to be involved in the way that he does play. But in this game with Messi and the other players like Antoine Griezmann, Dembélé, Pedri, Frankie de Jong, that is not the case. Messi wants to win with these players. He wants these players to be involved because he does trust his teammates, and that's very, very important. This shows that Barcelona is being a collective, that Barcelona wants to be a force as one moving forward in this season, and that is going to take you a very, very long way when it comes to winning La Liga or the Champions League tournament or the Copa del Rey tournament. Moving on to the next key point, and that is going to be about Samuel Umtiti. This is going to be very quick. The only reason why I do want to bring in Umtiti is because he had a very decent game. It was not a bad game, and it's very unfortunate to see that he did not take the surgery that he was supposed to take about 2 or 3 years ago, because it just seems like right now Umtiti cannot handle playing 3 games in a row. And in the match between Granada and FC Barcelona, there was a mistake that did lead towards a goal, and immediately after that mistake was given and Granada scored the first goal in this game, everyone pointed towards Samuel Umtiti. And let me tell you guys one thing, I don't think that one mistake should dictate someone's form, and I also do think that 2 great performances shouldn't dictate the way this player is playing and what he actually is as a player. I have been attacked many times about Samuel Umtiti, where I was saying that just because Umtiti put out 2 great performances in the past 3 matches, that doesn't make Umtiti the best center back for FC Barcelona or the automatic solution towards Barcelona's defensive line. Everyone was saying, Kevin, you're a hater. Samuel Umtiti is a great player. He has proven you wrong. But now look at this, right? Now everyone is saying that Samuel Umtiti is not the center back for FC Barcelona because he made this mistake. I don't think that we should be judging a player based off 2 games or making 1 mistake, because the sample is just too small. If you do want to greatly critique a player and analyze that player on the field, you need a big sample. You need tons of data. And looking at this first mistake in this game, I do think that the whole play was a disaster. It was not just Samuel Umtiti. I do think that from the very beginning of Granada's attack, Barcelona should have greatly pressured that right wing area in order to gain the possession as soon as possible. Barcelona in this game, in this play, did not do that, and that led towards Granada going up the field and then having Samuel Umtiti regain gain possession and then having no choice on who to pass it to. Now, we have seen Barcelona get away with these certain situations, but that was back in 2011 when Barcelona were at their peak, when Barcelona as a whole were so technically gifted that even in plays like this, they were able to get away from that. But this is not Barcelona 2011. This is Barcelona 2021 in the making of becoming a great dominant team again. There is going to be mistakes, and Samuel Umtiti should not be the only player that should be pointed at. But regardless of those plays that did occur, Umtiti had a great match. I do think that Umtiti is going to continue to have great matches, but one thing that he does need to take care of is going to be his fitness. And the last key point that I do want to talk about is going to be about Riqui Puig, Frenkie de Jong, and Pedri. Now, this is where we're going to get much more technical. I know that in a way it's going to be somewhat difficult to understand what we're going to be going through for the rest of this video, but we are going to be trying our best to understand what's actually going on between these three players. So I want you guys to look at these stats here, and I'm going to be reading you guys the stats that these three players did provide against Granada. And starting with Pedri. Pedri against Granada had a total of 112 touches on the field with a 95% pass success rate. Frenkie de Jong had a total of 120 touches with a 92% pass success rate. And then we have Riqui Puig. Keep in mind, Riqui Puig came in on the 75th minute, or in those last 20 minutes of the second half. Riqui Puig against Granada in total had a total of 81 touches with a 97 pass success rate. And looking at these stats here, you can clearly see that Riqui Puig is basically on par with the other players such as Frenkie de Jong and Pedri. Yes, the sample is small. He did play less minutes compared to Frenkie de Jong or Pedri, but the fact that Puig has almost reached the exact same touches like Pedri, it was really telling us that Barcelona wanted to greatly involve Riqui Puig in this game when he did enter the match. They did put the responsibility on him in that midfield. And Barcelona do need a player right now that can control the tempo of the game. And Barcelona has always believed in that. That was their idea. And if you want to keep that idea of how Barcelona does play and have been playing for the past 10 years, again, you do need a player that knows exactly how to control the tempo of Barcelona's game. Someone who can make horizontal passes, someone who can make vertical passes, and not someone who can make them, but know when to make those horizontal or vertical passes. That is very, very important. And Riqui Puig does have that quality. And he did show that against Granada, because there were moments in Barcelona's game against Granada within the first 70 minutes of this game where Barcelona needed control. And Barcelona did not struggle within the first 70 minutes, but they could have done better. They could have controlled the ball much, much more if we were going to have the conversation of we know exactly what Barcelona can do and what they're capable of. But the reason why those last 20 minutes and why we did score those 2 goals in those last 5 minutes, the reason why it was all FC Barcelona and why we were so dominant, it was because Riqui Puig entered the field around the 74th or 75th minute. And I'm going to give you guys an example on exactly what I am talking about when I do talk about the horizontal and the vertical passes, which is again the idea of FC Barcelona, knowing when to do these passes, knowing when to do horizontal or vertical passes. And here is going to be the play, and it's not going to be Riqui Puig, because usually when YouTube accounts do like to show highlights, they don't really show when Riqui Puig is making a horizontal pass or Samuel Umtiti is making a vertical pass. They don't show that. They just do like to show the goals, and that's it. So I do think that it is greatly unfair to just show the goals in highlights, but I did find a great example on knowing exactly when and how and where to do these vertical or horizontal passes. Look on the 91st minute, right? Before Antoine Griezmann received the ball, there were great efforts coming from Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and Riqui Puig to regain the ball back. They regain the ball back, they pass it to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba passes it to Antoine Griezmann, and then that is where I do want you guys to see the play, because this is the play that does come right before Messi makes that pre-assist. Again, it's going to be on the 91st minute. If you guys do want to go see it, go watch it for yourselves. It's going to be on YouTube. But when Griezmann receives the ball, he receives the ball and he notices one thing. Everything is way too congested on my left side. The best thing to do in order to get away from this congested, saturated area is to switch the ball and make a horizontal pass on the other side of the field. And let me tell you guys, you have to know when and where you want to place these horizontal passes. And once Griezmann does make that pass towards Lionel Messi, who makes the pre-assist shortly right after, the other thing I really want you guys to notice is how fast Griezmann made that horizontal pass towards the other side of the field. That is what makes Barcelona. That is what makes Barcelona function very fluid, is the fact that you make these fast decisions and fast passes towards the other side of the field in order for Barcelona to find new solutions and for the opposition to readjust. Riqui Puig can't do that, and he was doing that from the 75th minute until the end of the extra time, and that is why Barcelona became much more dominant on the field. I do do think that this was a game where Ricky Puig showed justification on why he should be given more minutes, why he should be starting in more games, and hopefully Koeman does see this. Because look, if I can analyze this through a YouTube account and just make a couple of YouTube searches and Google searches, I do believe that Koeman is also going to be looking at this in his data that he does provide, and whatever the club does provide for Ronald Koeman, I do think that he is going to be seeing that. Because if I can see it, if you can see it, Ronald Koeman can see this too. But those are going to be the 4 lessons and the 4 key points I did want to point out in this match between Barcelona and Granada. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.